Hello guys, Sae-san here, and today we're going to be doing a speedrun review on Sae-san's Palace. And this is actually getting close to the end, and we get our final member of the Phantom Thieves, well, final quote-unquote. Again, this is Royal, it's new, I don't know if this is going to be the last person. There's another person that I haven't spoken of yet, but I think we'll get to her when we get to her. It's complicated, we'll get to that when I get there. Alright, so first things first that happens in the story. We get caught as the Phantom Thieves. Now, I don't know if I even put it in the video with the Okumura Palace, but Akechi caught me and the others going into the Okumura Palace. Now, the first rule of the Phantom Thieves is to not get caught. And the funny thing about that is that we literally go into the palace wide out in the open for anyone to see. So the sheer fact that only Akechi saw us, I don't know, it's kind of stupid. So Akechi caught us and has showed evidence of us exiting out of the palace. And he's blackmailing us into saying that if we don't change this one person's palace, then he will expose us to the police. We ask him which heart do you want to change, and he says Sae-san's. Now, if you don't remember, Sae is Makoto's sister, who is actually a prosecutor. Now, the reason for Sae getting the change of heart is because she is putting innocent people and is always trying to find a way to win in her cases, even if it means putting innocent people in jail. So it was unacceptable, and we decided to go into her palace. Now, saying this right now, as I said, Akechi is probably the last person in this Phantom Thief team. So I'm gonna round him up right now and say this when I get to the end of the story, well, near the end of the story. So we invade the palace, we found the real Caesar course, and with each information that we find, we actually find out that Sae isn't hiding from us this time. She's actually saying that if we're able to get into the higher point of her palace, then we'll be able to actually fight her. But in order for us to do that, we need to upgrade our members card. So that's what we had to do. We go through each challenges, but the thing about these challenges, or even quote-unquote puzzles, I think they're supposed to be, they're all rigged. There's no possible way of you being able to win these games unless if you rig the games in your favor. So that's what we do. We rig the games into our favors so we'll be able to win. And Sae-san gets really upset by this and decides to send someone after us after we win a jackpot in one of the slot machines. We defeat him, we get to the higher level, but next thing you know, we can't get into this level due to a certain reservation that we're not in. So we have to go outside of the palace, go to one of the cases that Sae is in so she can see us, and that would make it so we're allowed to get into this level with the reservation. She sees us, we go into the higher level of the palace, and there's a dark room that we have to go through, which we have to go through and not get killed or get lost, but we make it through pretty easily. And then there's the battle arena where only one person could go, and that is me. I have to go there by myself. But Sae, being a cheater, she goes against us with a 2v1, 3v1, and eventually a 1v1. Now, of course, what's so bad about the 1v1? But the thing is the amount of cheating that she's doing in order for her to have an advantage over her victims. she's willing to go that far, even if it means affecting other people's lives for quote unquote justice. So after we got all the challenges done, the reason we do these challenges is because we need a certain amount of coins to go across a bridge. We need somewhere around 100,000, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there. But then after we got that certain amount, she still won't allow us to go onto the bridge, and says that we need 1,000,000 coins in order for us to get up there. We don't have it, of course. We only have 100,000. How are we supposed to get 1,000,000? Akechi tricks the system and made it so we have 1,000,000 coins, and we finally found the treasure. Now, the thing about this palace is that we don't send the calling card whenever we want. We have to send it on the final day. On the other palaces that I've done, you can send it whenever you want. I've always done it as fast as possible so I can do my social stats as well as leveling up my confidence for the people that are around me, as well as the Phantom Thieves. For this one, you can do whatever you want, but you have to absolutely make sure to put the calling card at the end of the day. It will not allow you to do it anytime unless on that specific day. So after that happens, we find the treasure, but it's gone, it's not in its original position, and we have to fight Sae. I love Sae's boss fight. I'll get to that later on, but this fight is absolutely amazing in my opinion. And it really goes to show the amount of distortion that people go through because of them getting harassed or them saying that the world is unfair towards them and whatnot, so they're going to treat the world unfairly as well. The reason for the distortion in Sae's heart is because her father, as well as Makoto's dad, passed due to apparently some corrupted polices. That's what she says that we can refer it as. Of course, I haven't said this before and whatnot to the others. That's because the other palaces or the other, evil people's reasons for them being bad is not as major as Sae's. Kamoshida just wants to be the king. And then you have Madarame, he thinks art is nothing more than just gaining money. And he will do anything for money and fame. Kaneshiro doesn't want to be the low and poor people and whatnot. And Medjed is just Medjed. It was just there. And then Futaba, which is the same thing as Medjed, is the same arc. Futaba, as I said, was an evil, is just she's very depressed because of her mother's death. Sae is very personal, not because it involves a person passing in their life that caused them to be distorted, but because it also refers to one of the Phantom Thieves' father being killed as well, which is Makoto's. And Haru, one of the people that the Phantom Thieves could relate to that as well, because her father was killed. So yeah, we find out that even in the boss fight, she cheats, and we have to catch her in the act. So we do it, and she transforms into this really badass suit that she wears to try to defeat you. And there's a new system in this boss fight to where she will only attack you with a specific type of moves. For example, it could be psychokinesis, electricity, anything around that where the wheel spins and lands on. And to me, that is very cool. And she does actually specifically target your people depending on your character's weaknesses. So if Makoto's weak to psychokinesis, she will only target Makoto. And that's what she actually did in my gameplay. But after we defeat her, and we got the treasure, quote unquote, we'll get to that later, we have to try to escape because there's actual polices outside of the palace. Joker volunteers to be the bait or the decoy to get the others to escape. And as he's escaping, another person joins in. I don't know if you guys remember this from my stream, but this is from the very beginning of the stream. A girl comes in. Her name is Kasumi Yoshizawa. And she's not a part of the Phantom Thieves. And she says it as well, that she's not a part of it, and she doesn't want to interfere. It's just that she just wants to help and save her senpai, as she says. So she saves us from a bunch of people surrounding us, and we manage to escape, but we run into trouble. And we realize that someone in our group has sold us out. And before we get to the end of this palace, this speedrun review, I'm going to bring up people, and I want you guys to think and wonder who is the person that sold us out. Now, if you don't remember, we have Ryuji Sakamoto, my bad, a person who's been with us since the very beginning, and who's been with us since the Kamoshida's palace, as well as on Takamaki, who was sexually assaulted by Kamoshida, and also Ryuji got his legs broken by Kamoshida. Forget that in there, right? Then we have Yusuke Kataoka. I don't know how to say that last part. He was used and manipulated by his art teacher. Then we have Makoto. And Makoto, we know that her father died, and the reason why that she's a part of the Phantom Thieves is because she wants to change her sister's heart, and that's what her reason being. Then we have Haru, and she's very confused on why her father died, but the others hadn't when they tried to change their heart. And then we have Futaba, and Futaba, she's the only person, as I said, that isn't evil because of us having to change her heart for her mother's death. And then we have Akechi. And as I said, Akechi caught us in the act of us being the Phantom Thieves and wants us to change Sae-san's heart. Now, if you know who it is, you can, I don't know, comment it. You should probably don't if you don't want to, whatnot. But yeah, I put up the people and whatnot. Hell, it could be Kasumi. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not her. It's very stupid. You barely even know who she is. So yeah, we into the interrogation room, back to where we were originally in the beginning of the game, where we were getting interrogated by Sae, and it all comes full circle. And now we have to wonder who is this person that betrayed us and who is the true culprit behind the mental shutdowns. We keep persuading Sae to be on our side, and that even though we're not gonna sell out our teammates, we are gonna try to help her win a case that involves catching the true culprit. So we tell her to get the phone that we have been using to get into the metaverses and whatnot, and to show it to a person. Now, since I'm gonna say right now, because if you didn't know who it was, and I'll be honest, kind of my fault. She shows the phone to Akechi, who actually went down into the interrogation room to talk to me. And he's confused as to why they were selling him the phone. And next thing you know, he comes into the room where I am with the police, and he takes the police gun and shoots him, revealing that Akechi is actually the traitor and is the true culprit behind the mental shutdowns. After we have found this out, he kills our character. But he didn't actually kill Joker. Let me explain. I'm gonna be honest, it's very confusing just hearing about it for the first time. So, he didn't kill Joker, he killed the palace version of Joker. Now the reason for this happening is because of the phone. We wanted Akechi to see the phone because it had the meta app so we were able to, get into the metaverses. So for a brief moment, Sae went into the metaverse without her knowing, as well as Akechi. So instead of Akechi killing me, the real me, he kills the, the metaverse version of me. So him thinking that he killed me, he reveals that another person was behind it all and was actually directing Akechi to kill people in order for him to become the prime minister. And if you don't remember, which I'll be honest, I don't know why I said that because I don't think I even showed it, a person was with us since the beginning of beating Kamoshida, and it was a bald man who got us in this mess to begin with, who got us into Shibuya and got us to have this probation. His name is Shido. Now, I kind of forgot what Shido's supposed to be. I don't know if it's supposed to be like, the father of Akechi and whatnot. But he is the one that has directed Akechi to kill people and cause mental shutdowns. And he's even the one that has killed Haru's father. And yeah, as I said, from Nana's Palace, Okumura does die. He's dead. And the reason for that is because of Akechi. So, after finding this out, Joker appears alive and returns home. And that is the end of the chapter. There are 2 more, or 3 more, depending on what's going on with Persona 5. 3 more palaces in Persona 5. I love this palace. This palace is amazing. The music is beautiful. It's amazing, and I think everyone would actually love to hear the main theme of Sae's palace. And Sae as a shadow is actually very creative, and I do like the direction that they were making her go towards, to where she does cheat in order for her to make it, in order for her to make it easier on her cases and whatnot, even if it means innocent people have to get arrested. Now the thing is that Sae doesn't actually have a change of heart, because the treasure, as I said, quote unquote, isn't actually the treasure, it was the bait. So overall, I think this palace is great. It's amazing. The music, the boss fight overall is just amazing as well. And I don't know if anything can really top this boss fight, really. I think in general this boss fight was great from vanilla as well as royal. So that's basically it. That's all I have to say. As I said, there's probably like 2, 3 more palaces that I have to do, and then I'm completely finished with this overview. Then I have to do one last video, which is ranking all of it. Possibly, maybe, we'll see. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys next time.
It seems you finally remember. This game is not over yet. There are still things that must be done. At this rate, your rehabilitation cannot be completed, though I doubt that will be the case. We shall meet again.
Time's up, inmate. Hurry up and return to your world.